Welcome to Pattukala College of Commerce and Management. This is Abhijit Paradkar, and today we are going to learn about game theory. This topic is taken from TYBMA Semester 6 Operations Research. So in game theory, first let us understand what is the game. So game is any set of circumstances that has result dependent on the other actions of two or more decision makers. So here decision maker means player. So game is defined as more persons as of which each person gets activity among two or more persons as per set of rules at the end of which each persons get some benefits or bear loss. This set of rules and procedure defines the game. A competitive situation is called game. The term game represents conflict between two or more parties. Now, let us understand what is game theory. The game theory is said to be the science of strategies which comes under the probability distribution. It determines logical as well as mathematical actions that should be taken by the players in order to obtain the best possible outcomes for themselves in the games. The games studied in the game theory may be ranged from chess to tennis and from child rearing to tech wars. But there is a one thing common that such an array of games is interdependent, that is, outcome for each player depends upon the strategies for all. In other words, game theory deals with mathematical models of cooperations and conflict between rational decision makers. Game theory can be defined as the study of decision making in which the player must make strategies affecting the interest of other players. Now, let us understand what is the use of game theory. Game theory can be used to better understand and analyze existing situations wherever there are limited resources, different decision options, different outcomes from different choices, and the probability of collaborations or competitions between players. Game theory can help companies to make strategy choice within or outside of their organizations, especially against competitors. Different situations are presented through simple games that set up hypothetical scenario. It means to stimulate real-world conditions and predict player behavior. Game theory can help to predict how people behave when they are in the competitive situations. Now let us understand what are the types of game. So here, number one, two persons and n persons games. So two-person games means the player may have many possible choices open to them for each play of the game, but number of players remains only two. Hence, it is called two-persons game. And in case of more than two persons, the game is generally called n-persons game. Number two, zero-sum game. A zero-sum game is one in which sum of the payments to all the competitors is zero for every possible of the game. The sum of the points won equals to the sum of the point lost. Number 3. Two-person zero-sum game. Two-person zero-sum game means a game with two players where the gain of the player equals the loss of the other is known as two-persons zero-sum game. It is also called as rectangular game because their payoff matrix is in rectangular form. Now, there are some strategies in game theory. For minimax or maximin player, we use strategy. Strategy means course of actions that adapts player for every payoff or outcomes. So there are two types of strategy. Number one, pure strategy, and number two, mixed strategy. Pure strategy means when a player chooses only one particular strategy, and mixed strategy means when a player chooses two or more strategies. In pure strategy, the probability of strategy is 1, whereas the probability of strategy in mixed strategy is less than 1. The sum of probability of all strategy in a game will be 1. Now, let us understand what is the value of the game. Value of the game is the amount of time which is obtained by each player with the use of appropriate strategy. And value of the game is denoted by V. The game will be called fair if the value of game is 0, otherwise unfair. Now, let us understand what is saddle point. So in zero-sum matrix game, an outcome is saddle point if the outcome is minimum in its row and maximum in its column. So where the maximum value equals minimum value. Rules to obtain saddle point. Step 1. Select minimum element in each row of the payoff matrix and write them under row minima, heading them. Select largest element among these elements and enclose it in a rectangle. Step 2. Select the maximum element in each column of the payoff matrix and write them under column maximum. Then select the lowest element among these elements and enclose it in a circle. Step 3. Find out element that is same in the circle as well as rectangle and mark the position of such element in the matrix. This element represents value of game and is called saddle point. Assumptions of game theory. Each player has available to him a finite number of possible strategies. The list may not be same for each player. Player act as a rationally. List of strategies of each player and amount of gain or loss on an individual's choice of strategy is known to each player in advance. One player attempts to maximize gain and other attempts to minimize the loss. Both players make their decisions individually prior to play without direct communication between them. Both players select and announce their strategy simultaneously so that neither player has an advantage resulting from direct knowledge of the other player's decision. The payoff matrix is fixed and determined in advance. Now let us understand algorithm to find value of the game. Step 1. Write the payoff matrix. Step 2. Apply maximin and minimax principle. Step 3. If there is a saddle point optimal strategy of the players, identify the value of the game and write the optimal strategy of the player. Step 4. If there is a no saddle point, then first one you have to check if it is 2 by 2 payoff matrix. If yes, then solve using analytical or matrix method for mixed strategy. If no, then use dominance method to reduce the payoff matrix into 2 cross 2 matrix or 2 cross n or m cross 2. If it is 2 cross 2 matrix after dominance, then use analytical method. If neither 2 cross 2, 2 cross n or m cross 2, then formulate and solve as LP problem. Thank you.